it doesn't matter. If you move, you can still work from home.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so basically your question is, it's not about the moving, it's about work.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so you work from home. So are you waiting to hear from a job or something, are you?
Yes, I'm waiting to hear from one or two prospects. I have people, recruiters coming in. I've got a call tomorrow as well. Screener. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I just feel there's this, for us at the moment, I'm just going to pull a card while I'm talking to you. At the moment, it's really about being very discerning and very clear about what you want. Now, I'm not sure of the situation you're in where you are. There's a lot of trust. I'm getting trust. You got to trust. A lot of trust coming up here. So when we're wanting a job, when we're wanting something in our life, and we're calling it forward, we have to engage in a lot of clarity within ourselves around the motivation, the intention behind it. If it's, I just need a job to pay the bills, then you'll probably not get the job that you really want. You'll get a job that will pay the bills, but you won't have the challenge or the happiness or the achievement that you would like. When you are very clear around, I want a job that will fill me, that will give me a financial flow, that will allow me to grow my skills, that will put me in a place where I can leap forward into another level of my service or job or role or whatever it is. When we start to talk like that, what we're doing is we're opening up a bigger field of possibilities. We're opening up more opportunities for ourselves. So I'm going to say, as I've said all along when I do these shows, I don't do prophetic stuff. I don't like doing that. And the reason being is because we have to make the choices for ourselves. It's an empowerment process. We've got to trust ourselves. That's what came up for you. Trust yourself. So my suggestion would be this. I like doing little rituals for things that I want to call in. So I like to get a candle, just a little candle, and I write on a piece of paper what I'm calling in, what I'm attracting, what I want to engage in, what I want to step towards. And I write it out. And I start with the words, I lovingly, gratefully, and graciously allow, align, attune, and call this to me. And then I write out what it is, and I fold it up and I put it under that candle, between the plate or the bowl and the candle. And every day I light that candle. And every time you light that candle, what you're doing, your intention, your focus is on that beautiful intention and that desire and that dream, and you are bringing it to light. Now, what that means is you potentize your energy around what it is you want. I would try that. The other thing I want to say is, in our old world that's falling apart and crumbling, and we can see it, nothing's working very well at the moment, we were often engaged in taking jobs or roles because, pardon me, it gave us security. We need that security for our bills or whatever it is. As we're stepping more into this new energy that's coming in and it's starting to bubble up through us, what it's asking us to do is to look at how we want to feel doing what we want to do and what's beyond that. So we've got to start looking at, how do you want to feel in these jobs that you've applied for? How do you want to feel in them? Do you want to feel like it's taking you somewhere? Do you want to feel like it's expansive, it's fulfilling, it's joyful? Because when we start to look at that way of feeling what we're doing, we invite more opportunities towards ourselves because our energy becomes clear. So it's like, I often give this example. It's like if you walk into a pitch black room with a torch, you turn it on and you shine that light across the room. All you see in that room is the torch in your hand, the ray of light, and where the light lands on the wall. It's a very narrow focus point. You can't see anything else in that room. That's how we think. It's focused intention. That's how we manifest focused intention. But if you go into that same pitch black room and you light a candle, you get more light in that room, and it's a bigger radius. It's a bigger bubble of light. You can see more things. That flame in that room represents a feeling. So when we start to work on how we feel about things or how we want to feel, Our energy becomes this language with consciousness. And if we've got that feeling of, I want to feel really fulfilled or successful in this role that I'm applying for, what would that feel like every day? And you start to cultivate those feelings, what you're doing is you're inviting more of that success or fulfillment or achievement towards you. You're calling in more opportunities because our feelings are a point of attraction. That's where we create from. So this new world that we're moving towards is not about I'm focusing on that and I've got to get it, because it's hard work. We have to know how we want to feel doing what we love, or doing, the next stage. I really want this job, but I want to feel this, and this. Okay, let me work on those feelings, because there could be another role or a job there that's going to give me that I'm not seeing right now. Do you understand all that? I know it's big. That was a big mouthful.
I do. I really needed to share this. I just wanted to go back to this sentence that I write with the ritual and the candle. I lovingly, gratefully, and graciously.
Graciously and gratefully.
Mm-hmm.
Align, attune, invite, and call to me. And then write out what it is. It's a little bit of witchy-poo magic. It's a bit of witchy-poo magic, but it's really beautiful. And look, trust that your soul knows where it's going. Just trust that and drop into that. Okay?
Yes. Oh, yes. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You are the creator of your life. You are the medicine for your own spirit. That's what I do. I give people lots of little things to do to activate that within themselves to have the life that you want. So lovely speaking with you. Good luck. And I will maybe talk with you another time.
All right. Thank you.
Bye. That's it from me, Raylene Byrne, Medicine for Your Spirit. Have a wonderful next few days, everyone. And if you like what I do, contact me on my website, rayleneburn.com.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Medicine for Your Spirit with Raylene Byrne. Live from Raylene Byrne. You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome. Time for Evenings with Kimberly, the comedian media. Live from KimberlyWagonMakers.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Evenings with Kimberly on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everybody. It's Kimberly Wagon Makers. Welcome back. Happy Thursday, 5:30 my time. I hope everybody's doing fabulous. I'm doing good. Very busy. Brief before I start taking a caller, I just want to announce again, my name is Kimberly Wagon Makers, spelled WAGENMAKERS. You can Google me, and on Google, you'll see my reviews. You'll see my website. You'll see my TikTok that's been hijacked, my New York radio last year, my Moonstruck radio now. You'll see lots about me. So just Google my name. It's the easiest. I'm not hidden or hard to find once you can spell my name correctly. But I'm here and I want to take callers. Getting more comfortable with this because it is hard, in seconds readings and not really seeing anybody. But I'm also doing lives on my business Facebook page, which I don't know if you can all see this. I'm going to try to get it in close. So that is my business Facebook page, Kimberly Wagon Makers, Psychic Medium to Rescue and Restore Balance. I'm going there live twice a week. And at the moment, I'm doing live free readings. No info again. You just tap in whether you want mediumship or psychic. And I'm spending like 3 hours. I get exhausted, but people come in and I can't say no. And I just, so yeah, I was up till 3 a.m. doing that last night. So do we have any callers yet? If we do, I can start. If not, I'll continue to talk like I do so well. And I want to, hopefully soon, we will be able to put me at 30 minutes so that I can start giving you a little bit about me and how I got here and all the really wild woohoo moments that I've had that, I need to write several books of what I've experienced. Like I can just tell you really quick before I have a caller, a house I had about 15 years ago, I was walking home from the mailbox and I heard a scream, looked behind me. It was the gardener alerting me. There was a line, a single file line of bees literally behind my head following me. There had to be a billion of them because, it was a really thick, but they were single file just following me. And I'm such a lunatic and used to this stuff that it just didn't faze me. Kept walking. As I walked into my front door, they went into the eaves of the attic of my home. Lived there until I went to sale. Periodically, I'd find one or two in the house, and I told them, just don't sting my kids. When I went to sell, they said I had 5-foot beehives in my attic. Like 6 of them, and they had to kill them. I was like, no. But yeah, pretty crazy stuff that's happened. I don't know. I don't see anybody in the chat ready yet, but I think you'll let me know if there is, and I'm getting pretty good at this. So I'll just continue to talk a little bit. I am certified because I'm a science. I feel like I'm blurry. I don't know if that's my illusion on my side, but I feel like I look blurry. But but that's okay. So I've had this gift my whole life. I didn't realize or understand it. I just would, like I remember being in the backyard and these dragonflies all around me. And I remember thinking, this is Millie. Let me go call her husband and tell him. And it's like, well, how do you address this? Because back then people just didn't talk about it. But I just picked up the phone and said, Stan, I got something to tell you. And you're not going to understand this, but Millie was just here visiting me and she told me to call you. And he said, my friend, that's how he talked. He was so cool. Him and his wife were my neighbors at one point. And he said, my friend, today is our anniversary. And I believe you. And I'm like, whoa, that's super cool. And I'm like, well, she wanted to make sure that, I called you because I just knew it was her with these dragonflies all around me. So I've had lots of crazy moments. So many. I've got some really big ones, but a really fascinating one recent is when COVID first hit. Spirit just told me to ground, and I tend to go out at 1 a.m. when it's really peaceful and quiet, and I'll water and tinker in the yard. And believe it or not, all the grasshoppers jump me. But one night, got bit by a black widow, and I was like paralyzed for like 90 seconds. And it was the most excruciating. I could feel the venom go through every orifice of my body. But as it was happening, I heard, you will never get COVID. And next day I went to the doctor and he's like, whoa, this is super cool. And I'm like, yeah, isn't it? He's like, your hand, you're going to lose your skin. I'm like, no, I won't. And I didn't. And I had this really beautiful bullseye heart on my hand that would glow in the dark for like 6 weeks. And about 3 months after that, I was laying in bed having a sensitive moment, and a black widow spirit ran across my comforter. And that's when I knew that she was one of my totem animals, insects, spirit. I have the black widow, I have bees, I have a lion. Thus is my team so far, and they grow. But I never got COVID. And as I shared the story, a lot of people thought I was nuts and kind of like, but the people that understand that are in this woohoo world, they didn't think I was nuts. They just, and one of my shaman friends, he said, well, the fact that you weren't bothered by it is your totem. And I'm like, yeah, she came to visit. So I have lots of miracles and just amazing things. But I'm still talking. I don't know if there's any callers. I would love to do a reading because I felt like, but maybe it's my live afterwards because here we go. I'm seeing something. Colleen in Atlanta. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Sorry, I'm reading and learning this. Hi, Colleen. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. A little tired, but I'm good. So you're in Atlanta, Georgia?
I am.
Beautiful. I've heard, I haven't been there, but I always think of the peach because I love peach cobbler.
Peaches aren't doing too good right now, I've heard.
Say that again?
The peaches aren't doing too well, I've heard. I don't know. I don't like peaches too much, so.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Those are my favorite. If that's pretty much the only pie I love other than chocolate. I love peach cobbler. So,
Wow.
But I'm sad to hear that they're not doing well. It's probably a farmer issue with all the weather disasters we've been having. But I hope they'll come back. So were you looking for psychic this evening, Colleen, or mediumship?
mediumship.
Okay, I'm wondering if you are the one that I was picking up on before I came in, because I felt like I was going to have a caller, and I felt like it's going to be a little girl. Can you take this?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
I felt like before I even came in, I was going to have a caller, and it was going to be a young girl. So in spirit, can you take a young girl?
In spirit, can I do what? I can't hear you very well.
It's okay. I'm sorry. I don't know why my reception. A young girl. Do you have a young girl in spirit?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm not sure about that. No.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to read the chat. So let me just. So I really felt like there was a young lady before I even started that I was going to bring through. Is that your dog?
Yes. Are we live on the radio or a podcast or something?
Yes, we are live, and yes, it streams through radio, and I'm not sure where, but some TV. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I'm just sorry for the noise. I have a dog that's kind of sick and he coughs a lot right now. So sorry about that.
He's sick?
Yeah, he has a problem with his trachea. So
I'm very sorry.
he's like 17 years old, so he's been with us a long time.
Let me try to get in here and connect with the spirit that you are looking for.
I'm going to step into another room where it's a little bit quieter.
Yeah, sometimes the energy. So I'm also picking up, I'm pushing the young lady aside. And maybe you're the young lady that I'm supposed to be pulling for, but I'm trying to tell a young man to step forward.
Yeah, the person I was hoping you could connect to is a male.
Yeah, and so this man, when I said young, he's telling me I wasn't young when I passed, but I have a very young heart. Would that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, because I felt like I wanted to tell you his age and young, but he's like, I wasn't young, but I have a really young heart. So, okay, we're pulling him closer. I'm getting goosebumps. He's telling me his passing wasn't long. It hasn't been that long. I want to say it's been I'm hearing 2. So I want to say 2 years. I don't think it's 2 months.
It's actually, this one is a couple of months.
Oh, so it could be the 2 months?
Very recent, yeah.
Okay, because I heard 2, and I'm like, it wasn't very recent, and it's 2, so okay, we're on the right track, son. Calling him son because he's just such a young spirit. Even when he passed, I mean, he was a very jovial, action-packed man.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. Time for Sacred Insights with Andrea Baker. Live from mindbodynourish.etsy.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147 or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio, or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Sacred Insight on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sacred Insights. I'm your host, Andrea Bacon. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope you're all doing well wherever you are in the world when you are listening and watching. And I hope you had a blessed week and a lovely full moon last week in Capricorn. I posted a picture on my social medias of the full moon rising over the ocean. And it was really cool. So if you want, you can take a look at that. But we are going to chat for a minute about the states of consciousness. So did you know that there's many more levels of consciousness or awareness than what most people and the average person experiences? They usually experience like the three main states of awareness only, which are deep sleep, the dream state, and the waking state. Now, through meditation, spiritual practice, intention, and whatnot, individuals can transform their consciousness to include more beyond that. And those include transcendental consciousness, cosmic consciousness, and divine consciousness, as well as unity consciousness. As each state unfolds within us, our reality becomes more expanded. This helps us tap into our spiritual abilities. So transcendental is when we become the observer of our experiences. Cosmic is when we have the realization that we're not just body and mind, but we are eternal spirit as well. Divine consciousness helps us tap into those, access the realms of the psyche and have more of those extraordinary spiritual abilities, things that we previously thought we couldn't attain. Then they may become activated. So unity consciousness then is also referred to as Brahman in the Vedas. Okay, and we are going to take my read. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. How are you?
It's Mairead. How are you?
Okay. How can I help you?
How are you?
Good.
I just have a question. I done a pregnancy test a few weeks when it came up positive, and then I done a cheap version, and it came up negative. Can you see if I'm pregnant?
Okay. Can I see if what's now? Can you repeat that one more time?
I done a pregnancy test, and the first one came up positive, and then I done a second one, and it came up negative. Are you able to see if I am pregnant?
Okay. So if something is more positive than negative? Let's see. Okay, so we have the anxiety card that's coming up in reverse. And so that's a good sign. That means like the worry and fear or sleepless nights is reversed. It's coming in reverse, which means it's going to improve.
Oh. And what about, can you see me if I am pregnant?
Okay, and then we've got the Four of Earth. Oh, let's see here. Page of Air, Page of Swords. So I feel like with putting a lot of pressure on yourself and a lot of focus on the one thing can actually, sometimes it can hinder us. We can hold on real tight to what we want so much that it's something that is better if you can just like ground your energy, get centered and just kind of like release it for a little while, just in order to kind of have a little bit more of or release tension. Okay, so we've got some yeah, we've got 7 of Cups. So there is a lot of confusion, a lot of choices, like that you're focused on. So I feel like your energy might be a little sporadic, and there is a card here that does have to do with children, and then there is the Sun card, and that's a very happy card. And so I think that you'll get your result that you want. I'm not 100% sure that it's right now. Yeah. So there is victory and success here for you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Did you want any other questions answered?
No, that's fine. Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful day.
Same to you.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and get back to what I was talking about. So there's an abiding sense of joy and peace with tapping into that meditative state. Okay. When we experience those different states of consciousness from what we're used to, it expands our world into things that we haven't experienced before. We can tap into a higher energy and take in more alignment in our daily experience. It can really help with turning around any type of negative thoughts that we may experience, because I feel like everybody can experience like those intrusive thoughts. But if you don't put a lot of focus on them, kind of like what I was just talking to the caller about, focusing and holding on so much is actually really helpful to be able to clear some of that energy out. Okay, so your normal everyday experiences exist in time and space, and they have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and they're a part of what we call the local domain. However, your true self exists beyond time and space in the non-local domain. And when you slip into that gap through meditation, you come into contact with your non-local self and you experience pure awareness. So I'll pull us some cards for our group that is listening and see, what the guides and angels want to bring up for today and what themes we're dealing with right now. Okay, so we've got domestic harmony. So some of you might be, hoping for a move or something in the home, some changes, some repairs, buying a new home, or that could also be like moving in with a partner, getting married. And I feel like there's this big heart chakra expansion and awakening. Focus on your heart chakra. Focus on, if you've heard of the heart-mind coherence, is when you focus on like your third eye as well as your heart chakra at the same time, and they open up, and then you kind of like picture what it is that you're wanting. And that's one way to manifest. That's something that Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about, and he's got meditations doing that. So we also have forgiveness, and it did come out in reverse. I don't always take oracle cards in reverse, but I feel like it came out in reverse just to talk about, if there are old things that you're holding on to, old hurts from the past. I feel like we get this message a lot, but just to be mindful of not to say that what happened in the past was okay. Like this could be, previous marriages or whatnot for some of you, and now you're really wanting the right person to come in. So it's kind of like your words are energy, and everything is energy. Our thoughts are energy. So be really mindful when speaking about, whoever it was in the past, and bringing that energy into your present. You don't want to be doing that. So it's more of clearing that out. There still might be some things that need to be cleared out. When it comes to that, if you are one that is hoping for, a new life partner, or to take things to the next level with your current life partner, just being mindful of talking about, the past and bringing stuff up from the past. And if it's coming up a lot, then it does need to be released. It needs to be looked at and healed for sure. Okay. And then we also have environment. So again, this is kind of like your environment, your home life, and stuff that's from the past is kind of what it's making me feel like, releasing energy from the past. Oh my gosh, the bottom of this deck, forgive. So with that, it's going to do it for me for today. And thank you so much for joining me. You can always check out my shop at Mind Body Nourish on Etsy, or stan.store/mediumandrea. And you can check out my products or email me with any questions at andrea.bacon444@gmail.com. And you can check out what I post on my Instagram and Facebook, and that is Medium Andrea Bacon. Thank you.
listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Soul Tea with Marie, with Antoinette Marie. Live from AntoinetteMarie.net. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Soul Tea with Marie on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
I have a special guest tonight, but first I just want to remind everyone, if you are looking for me, I am on Instagram under Soul Tea with Marie, and also on YouTube, as well as my website, which is AntoinetteMarie.net. So if you would like a reading with me for intuitive and mediumship, you can find me there. And I also do tarot readings now as well. So, but enough about that. So I wanted to introduce my special friend, which is Michelle. I'm going to mess up your last name. Franzoni? I'm Italian. Yes. I can't even say it.
Franzoni.
There we go. So I met her a couple of years, probably about 5 or 6 years ago now.
Yeah, 5 now. Yes. I'll never forget that day, how it happened, all of that, which it's very magical.
It is. We were both going through, I think we both were. I was going through a spiritual awakening because of a twin flame. And I think you were going through the same thing. And we miraculously found each other on Facebook or Instagram somewhere.
Yeah, it was like a soulful sister group. And I saw your post and I was like, I knew, anyway, I had to reach out to you, and I reached out to you with what I did. And you were like, how did you know? And then it just sparked this whole journey with you where you're the only person that I was like, oh my God, what's happening? And you were like the savior of all of it. You know, it was incredible. So I don't know how deep we want to go into that, but it was magical. So
let me ask you, since we're going to be, that's what we're talking about tonight, folks. We are going to be talking about the twin flame journey. I know I've touched on it before with someone who written a book and even my own journey. But tonight we're going to talk to Michelle because hers is unique, I find. And a lot of people that go through the journey, they also find they have this creative outlet once they awaken. And I find that fascinating. I know I started writing. I was writing before, but now I'm really writing. And I know you started painting once you had your awakening and you met your twin flame. So tell me, how did it begin? What happened?
I mean, I think I don't know. I was in a very, very dark place in my life. I was running hotels. I had this, I was a general manager. I had this whole facade going on, but, I reached out I knew I had to meet this guy. I like to bring up the fact that, I met him then, which is I went to school with this guy my whole life. We were in the same grade. We were in the same, we're actually 2 days apart, which isn't super relevant, but it's we were always right there my whole life. And I just knew he posted something and I was like, I have to reach out to this guy. I'm bored tonight. Let me go see what's going on. And I met him and, mind you, I was like, love sucks, anti-men, the whole whatever, I don't even care. My earbuds coming out. And I met him with this attitude of whatever. And suddenly he starts talking and I recognize his voice. It's a whole recognition. I looked into his eyes I never talked to this guy, even though we were in the same school in the same grade and everything, no classes together. And I went into another place and recognized his voice, and I was like, I've known this guy forever, and then was freaked out, but it sparked an energy in me. I had all of this energy and knew, my higher self kicked in. It started talking to me, and it was like, you have to paint, go paint. And I went to my mother's and I started painting, and it turned into this whole career.
Well,
It also,
let me ask you
yeah.
about that with the painting. So you didn't paint before, correct?
No, no. And like like my grandfather did it as a hobby. So it was kind of like always there. And one of the things about this is that there's such disbelief when you meet these type of soul encounters, I like to call it. Like, oh, you're crazy. This is, it's just a guy, it's whatever. But the largest significant part to this is the last time I had ever touched paint was when I was 7 years old. And my grandfather, who has the same name, he's French, and his middle name means love. So it's like my twin flame's name, and love is the middle name. But he had asked me, oh, pick an object, and we had a hotel then, and he said, pick an object. And I was like, oh, I want you to paint the swan. So he painted the swan, and it's like that was my biggest synchronicity for all of this. Like, I had not touched a paintbrush since I was 7 with my grandfather, who has the same name as my twin, and here it sparks this whole remembrance, maybe, of painting in another life, or I'm not sure, maybe the healing of the painting, whatever the reason. No, never touched a paintbrush.
What's interesting, people that are on the twin flame journey and people that aren't, they don't know that the people that aren't don't know about the swan. So the swan is representative of a twin flame union or meeting your twin flame, which I find interesting that that's what you painted.
I know. It's like kind of unbelievable. It's like it's a surefire way to not disbelieve what's going on, because I've tried, and I've tried. Like
I know, I've seen you, and so she has frozen. I'm going to take over a little bit. So in the beginning, she was painting 1 or 2 paintings, but then every single day she started painting maybe 2 or 3 every day. And this has been going on for years and years and years, to when she goes to shows now. She may not be coming back. I don't know. She's still frozen, but she goes to shows where she will sell them. Uh, she's in different museums. She's all over the place with this. It's amazing. And she is actually going to be doing my oracle cards, illustrating them. If she comes back, I will pull one of the pictures down I have on my wall. She had painted one for me for my twin. But it's remarkable what happens when you're on the twin flame journey. So I'm just going to take you back until she comes back here, what she and I went through. So I first found her on Facebook, and because I didn't understand what's happening to me, it's having this spiritual awakening, and all of a sudden, and even when I was younger, I could kind of hear, I saw an angel. I would hear my name being called, or I would see, I literally see a ghost standing there. Different things would happen, but I never truly believed what I was looking at. I didn't understand it, and I kept pushing it away, especially because of religion. I was very religious when I was younger. And I still believe in God, angels, all that stuff, but I let what do you want to call it? I can't think of the right word, but when you look at religion a certain way, now more spiritual, we'll put it that way. So I lost my thought, but thinking about religion, what was I saying? I don't know. Anyway, back to my awakening. So I was, oh, I know what it was. So I didn't understand all the things that were happening to me when I was younger. But once I met my twin flame, or what was representative of my twin flame, I should say, I could hear spirit in a way that I never heard before. I could hear that because the twin that was he was on the other side, and he was just talking to me. And I remember thinking, this isn't possible. And yet I didn't doubt that I could hear him. I was 100% sure I heard him. I went to see a medium. My friend had asked me to go see a medium, and he came through. I didn't even know what a medium was. My friend just asked me, well, you want to go to a medium? I'm like, sure, I'll go. And I realized that they talk to the dead. They talk to souls that are on the other side. And here he was talking to me. And that started a journey. That started a 5-6 year journey to where I am now. So I don't know if Michelle's coming back or not. So I guess I'm just going to talk about my twin flame journey. Maybe that's what I was supposed to do. Isn't that how it works? I don't know. Anyway, so after that happened, when it first happened, I ended up going to Ireland, and all these signs were coming, and I could still feel this spirit with me. And he was talking, and I remember I was in this little village in Ireland, and there was like 10 people there, and we were walking down this pathway, and I said to him in my mind, and I was walking with my friend, she had no idea what was going on. I said to him, if you're really here, prove it. Prove it. So 5 minutes later, I go around this
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Wow.
Here we are again. Not sure what
Yeah.
happened. Probably a
Yeah.
little twin flame energy happening.
It was like, yeah, geez, shut off, stop talking. I don't know what it was, but yeah,
And
took
my
me a
screen
minute.
is totally messed up. I'm gonna say it's the energy that's happening right now. So I don't know where we were. We were talking about
I
the
never
painting.
painted before. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And then you started painting every single day. How many paintings did you do?
Yeah. I mean, so many. And honestly, like 5 years that I started, I've sold almost 40, which is
Yeah.
like manifestation, a lot of factors come in. But the really, really beautiful part about me not painting before was like when I stopped painting, my parents divorced. I was going through a lot of trauma at the time and moved to Ocean City, which is where he was. And we had never met, but there was a lot of trauma going on and I just stopped it. And through this, journey of healing that this brings you to, um, suddenly my sister randomly sent me a text message and she found like an art award I had done when I was like 6 years old or 7 years old, and she was like, oh, and it was like outstanding artist. So it's like I blocked so many things, that I loved. And then when I met him, it was like it brought me right to, who I'm supposed to be, my journey, where I'm supposed to be at. And I think like
And what
I
is
don't
that journey? What was the journey for you?
I
What
mean,
is
for me, it's painting, it's, art. Like that's who I'm supposed to be. I was supposed to be an artist. I was supposed to, it's all about me, not about him, not about being with him, not about what most people think this is about, and that's the most beautiful thing in the world, you know, remembering who you are. There's so many like interesting facets to it too. Like I remembered past lives suddenly. I had dreams with your twin and went into shaman circles and I still haven't showed you, but I was presented with like tobacco is supposed to be a healer and recipes of like healing. And I mean, it's really insanely deep and spiritual, but it's very hard to focus on, oh my, when you're conditioned with the way we're conditioned, we're only successful or like the epitome is to be with somebody else when really it's like it's to find ourselves,
Mhm.
so I don't know, it took me down this whole thing, but my higher self kicked in. I was hiking 10 miles a day with no problem. The
Wow.
energy is like
And that
incredible.
happened that happened after you met your twin flame, correct? So after you met your twin.
Instantly when I met, like the night I met him, it didn't happen immediately. You know, we talked and we talked and we talked, and it gradually kept increasing. The biggest part for me with him was like my disbelief of like, okay, this guy is saying things that I would say, stop. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not into this. This is not what I was expecting to meet or whatever, you know? And it was like, and the energy was like, you know, nobody else was there. That's it, you know? So I think it built up a little bit. And I think it's probably because, you know, you can't handle all of that. Like the Kundalini rising is like, it's so intense. Some people like it's deep, and it's, the trauma is brought up to be healed. So it, you know, gradually it happened like that. Like maybe 2 months after I started hiking 10 miles a day, and I had, you know, like for instance, I discovered a new way of painting. You know, I had accidentally dropped what I thought I accidentally dropped, a black blob of paint on a canvas. And then my higher self was like, well, just paint over it. And that's when I did that tree, which if you really look at that tree, there's sacred geometry in that tree. Yes. There's, you know, France, you know, the fleur de lis in that tree. There's the wolf and the moon in that tree. There's a lot of symbology that is, things were just coming to me constantly. And that's part of it. When you research people who have experienced this, they write books, they, you know, develop movies, they, you know, do what you're doing. Like we all get this purpose and we just are fueled by it, and you can't stop.
It's true. I personally can't stop. It's been 5-6 years, and I believe I'm just getting started. Like I haven't even cracked open the egg yet. That was just the beginning, and now it's like, where is this taking me?
Yeah. And I know because of our text, and, you know, you're just like, when you're fired up, and like, no pun intended, but literally, like, you just can't stop. And there's, it's awesome, but I see it like in my research, I see a lot of people that, you know, think that this is what's happening in their lives. And it's really sad to me sometimes, because, you know, they get stuck. They get stuck on, it's about being with them. And it's like really not at all. And no, unless you concentrate on that, that's it.
Most of the time you don't even end up with your twin. Right. You do telepathically. Right. And you do sometimes to, I don't know, do your mission, you could say. But then after that, you part ways.
Right. Yeah. And I think that is beautiful. I think it's very limiting to think that there's one person in the world you're supposed to be with, and that's it, and that's your whole entire mission. You know, there's so much love out there that's like, you know, and that's the other part. Like, it brought me to so many connections with people that it is incredible. You, my friend Gary, that I'm like, you know, best friends, and people can't understand how a girl and a guy can be that, you know, compatible, but not want to be with them. But I'm like, that's what love is. It's free.
It is. Absolutely. So we only have a minute left. So I want everyone to be able to find you so they can see your paintings. I know that you're on my website, but where are you on Instagram?
At Michelle_Franzoni. So MICHELLE_FRANZONI.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And I will have her on my Instagram as well. So if you can't find that, can't spell it, whatever, because I know I can't spell it. You can find it.
It's very long.
Yes, yes. So you can find it on my website as well and on my Instagram. But her paintings are amazing. She has all kinds. People. She did like water for me. It's just beautiful what she does.
Oh
so
God, I can't wait to see that painting again too. Yeah. All right. Love you. I'm so sorry about the break.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. Time for the Mini Medium with Stephanie Cowan. Live from TarotWithSteph.net. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is the Mini Media on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
All right. Well, welcome, my friends. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. And I am your mini medium on the A1R Psychic Radio and the wonderful and beautiful Moonstruck TV. I am so excited today in many reasons. I'm always excited every week, but I can't wait to share some things that are coming in my life and also some activities, events, things that are happening. But I can't help but think that everything happens for a reason. So many things have just been coming and evolving and landing so beautifully. The synchronicities and the blessings have been incredible. And one of those really, and I can't say this enough, but really has been meeting the producers of A1R and just the amazing group of very gifted individuals that have come together and how they have really just either reached out to bring them here, or if, or I should say, and not even if, and the beautiful universe bringing them and aligning us all together. So I want to thank everybody, especially the producers and all of the help that they do behind the scenes. So anyway, I just I find it just incredible, all the work that is put into making sure that I look good, that I sound good, but not only that, but the passion and excitement that I see coming from them both and the two that I've met. But anyway, so thank you. And also, I just, some incredible messages have been coming through today. So we'll start out, because sometimes I get on this kind of tangent and I forget what I'm doing. So let's go ahead and let's pull these affirmations. And I already did pull the affirmation beforehand. Actually, was a little bit organized today with that. And what was weird is the number that I've been seeing today is a very large number. So I was trying to figure out how I would incorporate that with my cards, because this particular deck only has 44. It's the affirmation deck. So my number is 47. So 47 the way I connect with numbers, someone either that has passed away, that is in the spiritual realm, has given me this number as validation of them being here, coming through tonight, either on my podcast or after approximately about 7:45, depending on my night, but about 7:45 p.m. Mountain Time, I get on my Stephanie's tarot reading page and I do live free readings for a couple hours. So I know that, and I always trust the numbers I get will connect. So with that said, 47, what I did is I decided to pull the number 4 and the number 7. Now, that also can be in numerology. Of course, we add that, it becomes 11. And 11, as we know, is a very spiritual number. So even if someone connects with the 11, I feel that could also be the connection. So we'll see how that goes. But let me tell you what affirmations came out, which I find the fact that we pulled 2 today, and they just are beautiful, incredible, amazing messages. And I hope that they resonate with you all. The first one that came out says that everything happens according to divine timing for the best results. So here again, everything happens for a reason, right? The timing of, even for myself, with many things in my life, are always that divine timing. So everything happens according to divine timing for the best results. The other one, which you guys kind of get a 2-for-1 today, because the 4 and the 7. The other affirmation says, I have confidence in myself. I am ready for anything that life offers me. So I have to tell you how this kind of fits with me real quick. I do have an event that I'm doing this Saturday in Idaho. And I met this beautiful lady. She became a client and then became a friend. And she offered her large property in right by the Teton Mountains in Tetonia, Idaho. And we were going to be having a beautiful outdoor event on Saturday, and a lot of people from the town, others coming from all over, really, which is such a huge honor and compliment. And so before events, I get very nervous. It happens no matter what. But what the weirdest thing is, just like on my podcast, even though I've been doing this 27 years, as far as, practicing psychic medium, I still get nervous, and I get butterflies and my hands sweat. But when I get into the zone, or when I get into my highest conscious mind, or my highest consciousness, I just do. It's beautiful. So things just come. They make sense later, if not already, or immediately. So I know that even as nervous as I am for Saturday, that my spirit guides, loved ones in the spiritual realm, will make sure that everything happens beautifully. So when I see these 2 cards, everything happens according to divine timing for the best results. Well, there you go. I was meant to connect and share my gift at the right time, the divine timing. And if you read my my bio, then you'll kind of understand whereabouts that came in. Then the other card saying, I have confidence in myself and I'm ready for everything that life offers me. So really, with what I do, 100%, I have to have confidence. I have to trust, even if it doesn't make sense at the moment with a client, or a sitter, as we call them too. I never doubt it. I have to have that confidence and trust. And I'll tell you, it's beautiful to see how the validations all come about, and how they just really help me to keep moving forward with sharing my gifts. So anyway, I feel like that's how they connect with me. And I needed to hear that, especially with the fact that this event is coming up for me. All right, my friends. Hey, enough of my chit chat. I'm excited to meet my first caller tonight, and it's Cambria from Erie, Pennsylvania. Hi, Cambria.
Yes. Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. I feel like that sometimes that's the best we can do some days.
Right.
I'm alive. I'm alive and kicking, my friend, but I'm happy to be here. Tell me, uh, really, how can I help you tonight? Do you have a question for me?
Um, I'm just looking to contact my great grandma. Her birthday was on the 9th of this month, and I've been really upset and sad, and I miss her a lot.
Oh, shoot. Okay. All right. Well, first, I'm so very sorry for the loss of, and this is, did you say a great grandmother or grandmother?
Ye- ye- She's a great grandmother. I know she usually shows as like a mother figure.
Yes. I love you just said that. uh, because the minute that you just, asked your question and then really just starting to open up my gifts per se or my abilities, I felt a sense of wanting to be corrected or correcting the term great grandma, because I do feel that she just was wanting to make sure that uh, I guess some validation is that she feels that she was more like a mother or even maybe a grandmother. But boy, the minute you said great grandmother, she was like, nope. Wait a minute. Let me tell you how it is. Which I love that. I love her energy already. And if this is her that I'm starting to feel now. Let me just, I always ask every week, and as I get these numbers that, and I'm sure you heard me before we came on, connect with you in any way at this moment. 47.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get that because the phone cut out for some reason.
Oh, you're okay. No worries, hon. So the number 47, so 47, do you connect with that number? Does it resonate with you in any way at the moment?
Not at the moment. I don't know, honestly.
Okay. No, that's okay. No, that's okay, my friend. I'll get numbers before I get on to do my podcast, and it very well could be that that will connect even with the next caller or tonight on my live. But just keep in mind the 4 and 7 that I see can very well be also the number 11, which will be the month of November, the 11th of a month. And then also April 4 and 7 could be April 7th. So, or the age of 47.
The November November is the month that she passed away.
Okay. Okay. All right. Perfect. Generally, when I do get my validations through numbers, they're not as high as 47. So I felt drawn to uh, adding them, if you will. So this very well can be just a validation of your grandmother coming through and being here even before we connected. So we'll see what more we can get from her. I'm going to just take a moment. I'm going to quiet my mind for a moment. Let me ask, one of the first things that I just saw is really, okay. Wait, I know that she was a great grandmother, but I have to tell you, the way she's coming through, and I'm hoping this is her. I kind of feel like we may be channeling her, but her energy, the way she's coming across, the way I'm connecting with her, even though she was a great grandmother, I really feel that she still passed at a young age, even being a great grandmother, or she still was very mobile. Does that make sense with her?
She wasn't all that mobile before she passed.
And was
she,
that before she got sick?
Before she got sick, she was mobile. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Um, and I know, of course, that the older we get, of course, our mobility is limited. But I feel with it, for some reason, she's wanting to express and really to let you know that she has this mobility now. And there's a reason why it's very important. And that's why I brought that in, because I feel like she's wanting me to tell you, let her know that I can move now. I am mobile. Yeah. And she, okay. Now, did she, oh, wow. Okay. She's showing me, all of a sudden I'm getting signs right in my throat. And I feel like that almost that sense of even lymph nodes, the lymph nodes, the esophagus, the thyroid, but something through that area. Boy, I'll tell you, it's very sensitive at the moment. So, do you know if she struggled with that area or was on life support or ventilator?
No, I don't think so. I don't think she was on a ventilator or anything.
Okay. Okay. Hmm, I I have a feeling, even at the moment right now, Cambria, that we have two people, and here's why: because um, I've got one soul that I feel is very, it's sounding a little bit like grandma, but then I also feel you have another that's coming through that is more of a younger
You know what?
male. And go ahead.
I had an aunt that recently passed. She wasn't on a ventilator though. I don't know who the male is.
Okay. Okay. So I want you to keep in mind young, I guess I should be more specific. I'm talking younger than 60. I don't know, because I feel like, I'm almost 50. So I don't want to say older, but I do feel there is a sense, and I know you're going to connect with who he is, because I'll tell you, I feel like that there was intention of coming through at this moment, especially for today. So I want you to keep in mind, if anything, his message, I feel to you, and this can very well be you are the conduit, you are the messenger. But I also keep hearing, yeah, it's really, yeah, he's given me, I keep like very one syllable R name, Rick, Ron. So I'm getting one syllable. So please keep that in mind. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. My uncle Rich passed away recently. I don't have, I don't know exactly how old he was, but I know he passed away recently. So it could be him. It's Uncle Rich. More than likely, it's beginning with an R.
And that's, yep, you just hit it on the head, my friend, because I just got my chills. So, and I do feel, yeah, Rick, I kept hearing the one syllable R name. And I really feel, if anything, his being here, which the timing is to let you know, and maybe for you to share the message with family, that he's really adamant about that. Family knows everything that was done for him up till his passing and even after, was exactly what he would have wanted. And that I keep hearing him say, enough is enough. There may be some feuding or fighting, because he's like, I'm good. I just keep hearing I'm good. So please let family know if they're, feuding over the way funeral arrangements were done, or what may be, that he's really needing them to know that he is good. And I'm telling you, I feel he's taken advantage of this moment, because I feel he's like, I don't know how else I would be able to get the message across. And it just so happened that you were on, and now he's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to give this message now, because I don't know how else I'm going to. So please, know that even though we may not have gotten much from grandma, but I feel that everything happens the way it's supposed to. And, and I'm either the 4 and 7 or the 11. I have a feeling it's going to connect with him as well. So keep that in mind. Okay. Now I've got another caller waiting, but I hope this helped. I know things kind of go a little bit wonky, but I have to trust there's a reason. So,
Thank you.
I hope I hope it gave you a little bit of peace. No, you're welcome, my friend. And if you feel drawn to, on my Facebook page tonight on Stephanie's Tarot reading, that's my Facebook page. I do free readings for 2 hours here around about an hour from now. So if you want to hop on, we may get more connection and may get grandma. So just keep that in mind, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. You are so welcome. Have a wonderful night, my friend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay. All right. Time goes by fast. I've got another caller, and this is Christy. Hi, Christy.
Hello.
This is the mini medium. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Not too bad, my friend. How can I help you tonight?
I was calling to see if I'm so confused about. I mean, I try to stay positive so much, and I just started a new job 3 months ago, so I was kind of, if everything's going, well to plan or anything, and then my relationship is of 6 years is just absolutely just it's almost like friendship now.
Okay. All right. So are you, well, let me ask, is kind of the focus tonight, do you want me to focus on the relationship, the job, or,
Actually, the job.
The job. Okay. It's funny you said, I felt like that's what I was going to say. You took the words out of my mouth. I thought, I feel more drawn to your job. And here's why too. Sometimes I will incorporate my cards into your reading, and I really just use them as a guide. I don't really read tarot, but the first card that I pulled, and if you will, and these are the chakra tarot, and I'll kind of show if you get on and watch on Moonstruck TV. But the blue, it's a light blue color, and it's a coin. And so this chakra is your throat chakra. And that throat chakra, when it's blocked, as far as energy goes, it really can hold you back from articulating your thoughts or expressing yourself the way you want to express yourself. And sometimes it can be you have no filter, or sometimes it can be that you have too much of a filter. And so you really need to open that up more and express or rein it in a little bit. Now, what I think is kind of interesting is the coin. And a coin, of course, we really connect coins with money. And so here's a lot of, financial or job. The other thing that I feel as far as your job goes, it feels to me that, wow, okay. I feel like you have all of these amazing and very intelligent ideas, but I don't feel like you're giving yourself enough credit, and you hold back from sharing. And sometimes when that happens, it's fear, and fear will really hold us back from finding our happiness or our purpose. So this job that I feel things going with that, couple things, I would say definitely take a moment and just for one, breathe and know that I feel everything seems very new to me at the moment. Now, did you tell me how long you've been there? I thought you did.
3 months.
Okay.
3 months.
Okay. So it's still kind of new. It's still still learning. So that makes sense. But I feel like that's perfect timing as well, because you have established, if you will, time, you've established respect, from others. And now I feel is where you can come in and give your ideas or express new ways or whatever it may be, and not looked at by others in a negative way. Does that make sense? Okay. So if anything, I'm telling you, I feel you have the green light to share your ideas with this job, but I don't feel like I would be making any rash decisions of leaving or finding anything different. And here's why. Because I feel like, when they say that just when we feel like giving up, then that's when magic happens. And so I do feel like that there's some beautiful new opportunities coming. And it doesn't necessarily mean either that those new opportunities mean that you stay where you're at. It can be that you come in contact with someone who offers a new opportunity, So, keep that in mind. And I really feel like the job is just given another couple months, because I do feel like here in the next couple of months, you see things start to get better. And I'll tell you just really quick, 'cause I know I've got probably about a minute left of my show, but as far as the relationship goes, I do want to tell you one thing that I was seeing. You have a beautiful way of connecting with people through maybe an empathic way, being an empath. And I feel like you intuitively, energetically know that something's not quite right with this person. And but unfortunately, that beautiful heart ends up overshadowing, and then we don't listen, So, I say, move on, my friend. I know that sounds harsh and hard, but yeah, good.
Right.
Good.
Everything you said about my job, I've even thought about it.
Good.
Because I do work hard.
Yeah. And now I'm just validating your feelings, and sometimes that's all you need, right? So keep on trusting those beautiful intuitions, my friend. And I know I've got to wrap up my show, but I wish you so much luck and happiness, and you'll find your person. I have no doubt.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You are
Bye-bye.
welcome. Have a beautiful night. Bye-bye. All right, guys. Okay. All right. Have a beautiful night. I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Understanding Spirit with Mary Shapano. Live from MaryVCircles.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Understanding Spirit on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another week of Understanding Spirit. And thank you for tuning in to A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. I hope you've all had a good week. Today we are going to be looking and talking about these little babies. That's a pendulum. And for anyone who doesn't know what a pendulum is, we use this for guidance, and we use it for a technique called dowsing. And I'm going to show you a few different ones because I've had a good week. I've gone a little nuts and bought a few of them. So I've got a couple of my little friends here with me, and so I'll be showing a few of them to you, and I will program one live so you can just see how to go about doing it, and I'll give you a bit of an idea of how to use it and just explain a little bit about it to you. Okay, now within our body we have a lot of wisdom. We don't feel like we do. We're always looking externally for our answers. However, if we are working with our higher self, we actually do have everything we need to know. It's just that we just don't trust ourselves. Okay, so we're always going to somebody else for advice. Of course, when we have medical issues, legal issues, psychological issues, of course, we need help and guidance from experts. But for our everyday kind of things, giving ourselves advice and stuff like that, we do have a lot of wisdom within us. Now, the pendulum, this is one that I use. It's the one that I was just showing you. It's a general pendulum, or I use it generally. It's not a general pendulum. It's the way that I use it for readings, and it's very beautiful. I love it. It's my favorite. It's got a little star in there, and it's a little bit blingy, which, very me. And so the pendulum is a very powerful tool, and bad things come out of good intentions. So you always have to be very careful when you're using it. You have to be responsible. You have to work with your highest good for yourself and for others. All right. It can be used, of course, like I said, for personal guidance and for healing. If you want to gather information about somebody else, you really need to have their permission first. Unless somebody comes to you for a reading, or you're reading for somebody and the answer is for yourself and that other person is involved in the situation and the answer benefits them as well. It's not something to be used just to be nosy about what's going on in somebody else's life, like, is so-and-so happy in their marriage? If you're just asking for things like that, that's using it, not for your highest good. All right. Now, I guess a quick thing to sort of mention is, what does a pendulum know? This little baby, it knows nothing. On its own, it knows nothing. All right. Energetically, it will gravitate to you. However, if you were out looking for a pendulum, I've been in crystal shops where they've got pendulums and they're all hanging, and there might be 10 in a row, and there might be 3 or 4 that are swinging towards me. But the rest will just be still. And I'll be looking at it going, is she really swinging at me? Because I'm not buying any today. But you'll see energetically you're matching up with the energy of that crystal on the pendulum. And that's why it starts moving in your direction, and you'll see they'll swing a lot, right? So you'll know which ones you gravitate to you even before you gravitate to them. And this is just energetically speaking. If you find that there's a whole lot of them and they're just in a tub or something, then of course that's not going to happen. And which was the case when I bought these ones. Most of them were in a tub. These two when I bought these two, and I love this one too because that's got all the chakra colors on it as well. And this is my tracking pendulum, which is for well, you can use them. Find your phone, find your glasses, find your keys, things like that. It's a tracking pendulum. A lot of people don't know this about me. I started my journey into mediumship, even though I could see spirit all my whole life, and I just thought every house was haunted that I lived in, and I was always running out of houses. Everyone that I lived in. What got me started in using these abilities is that I started to see missing people, and people that had been on the news, people that I'd seen murdered, and they didn't know where the bodies were. And I was like, why am I seeing all these things? What's going on? And I just started my journey to work out why that was happening to me. And so it was inevitable that one of these would come my way, and that I would be working with tracking. And I did have a spirit who had been murdered here in Australia, and she was with me all the time. I'm not going to say her name because it's quite personal to the family and that, but it was on the news, and she was with me all the time when they were looking for her body. And I was like, I don't know how to help you. You need to go to somebody else, because I hadn't gone down this path yet. So while the pendulum is highly addictive, and you do want to play with it, it's important to resist doing that. With my students, I did give them one day when we first started. I gave them one day to just play with it after they programmed it, just to get their thrills with it. But I was like, your pendulum is very serious, so don't be using it, just to ask silly questions. So you can get, the pendulums can provide a lot of answers, all right, for us. So where do the answers come from? All right. The answers come from within us, right, through our higher self, and they also come through us, but through our guides. So our guides giving us information the same way somebody might get when they're giving readings or whatever. All right. So the power of the pendulum is really within you. All right, might not feel, because you're holding something, you feel like it's outward. It's not. And when I hold the pendulum, and there are different ways to hold it. When I hold the pendulum, I can feel the energy from both my hands. Okay, so the way that I hold my pendulum is like that. That's what suits me in my right hand. and having your hand underneath. All right. So this is one that's already been programmed. All right. But before I work, what I would be asking is, are you ready to work with me? So backwards and forwards is how my pendulum swings. When that's a yes, stop. Is my name Samantha? That's my no, sideways. So you all know my name is not Samantha, it's Mary. Stop. Do I live in Australia? That's backwards and forwards. So that's my yes. Stop. Am I 21? That's a big no. My pendulum's going to get over it. Okay, stop. All right, so that's how you can test your pendulum as well to see, to know, ask it things that you know are not correct to get it to give you correct answers. All right, so I've got a couple here. So this one is a new one, opalite, and it's for emotional releasing. Okay. And this one here is a master healer. So I'm going to use this one to just give you a quick idea of how to train it. Okay. So you will say, are you ready to work with me? Okay, stop. Show me yes. So you've got to get what your answers are. Each pendulum will be different. Stop. Show me no. Okay, so you can see it going from side to side. Stop. You must tell it to stop after each question. Show me maybe. So from my end, it's moving around and it's going anti-clockwise. Stop. And show me wait. Okay, so I'm not sure how clear this is for you guys, but wait is on an angle going from left down to right. So that's the symbols for this pendulum, or to let me know what the answers are. Okay, so have some fun with it, looking for it, tune into which pendulum you want, and if you have any questions, you can email me and I can give you a few more answers to help you out. I hope you've enjoyed today, and I'll see you all next week. Have a good week and be safe and smile. Bye.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network. and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Psychic Paths with Suzanne Marie. Live from psychicpaths.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Psychic Paths
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everyone. I am Suzanne Marie, and welcome to Psychic Paths, and welcome to A1R Psychic Radio. I'm going to be your host for a little bit. I am a clairvoyant and a light trance medium, and I see past, present, and future. And I am a light trance medium, which means I can speak to past loved ones. I hope everyone is doing well, and I hope that everyone is feeling loved and cared about, and I hope that everyone is doing relatively good with health. I hope that everyone is healthy and being able to get the things that they need. So welcome. I am in St. Cloud, and you can catch me on here on Facebook on Psychic Paths, and you can get to my website, which is www.psychic-paths.com, and just shoot me a note or a message if you have any questions. So welcome to July, and it is now getting to be Cancer season, the sign of home and sensitivity and everything having to do with family and familiarity with home. I'm excited. It's going to be a good rest of July, and I think that everything should be going well. I am expecting a very good caller, and a very good caller to me. Oh, Tammy from Pennsylvania. Hello.
Hello.
How are you tonight?
I'm good.
Good. I love Pennsylvania, and I love the name Tammy. I've driven through Pennsylvania, and it's very, very wooded. It's got a lot of trees, which I love. And
depending on where you're at.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Is
I
there
live out
some
in
that?
I live out in grape country. All the grapes and wines are made out where I'm at in Pennsylvania.
Oh wow, that I wouldn't even have thought of. I've just learned something. Yeah.
You ever hear of
Oh.
Welch's grape jelly or grape juice? Welch's?
Yes.
That's actually
That's
here where I'm at. All the grapes are
Oh, my
local and they make the
goodness.
grapes and jelly here.
So this just goes to prove that just because I'm clairvoyant doesn't mean I know everything. I learn every day.
Yes,
So
you
what
learn
can
something
I?
every day, that's for sure.
Yes, never too old to learn. So what can I answer for you tonight?
Well, I kind of got two questions. One
Okay.
is I wondered if my dad knew what I did with his dog tags and if he approved of that. And then I'm wondering about my relationship I'm in. I truly feel in my heart that I finally found my soulmate after an abusive marriage of 30 years. I found what I believe is my soulmate, but I'm not sure if he feels the same way or not. I think he does, but he gets scared, so I'm not sure. And because of my past, I have very anxiety and insecurity issues, so I question everything.
Okay.
So those are my two things I'm looking to find an answer to.
Okay, hang on a second. Okay, so I think I've connected to your father. I think he's come through. Let's give it a second. Did he have a cap? Because the person that came in is carrying a cap, at least carrying it. He's not wearing it. And he kind of was in a rush, like rush to get through to have this conversation. So it makes me wonder if he rushed during his lifetime, like trying to get things done kind of energy.
Always. He's
It
always
just
busy and
seems
had to go to get his job done.
very, very active and productive in that way, it feels like.
Yes.
He's saying that he's been around you for a long time, and it has made him sad with whatever emotions you're going through and what life handed you. He's very close to you, and he feels for that. He wishes that he wishes that he was here with you at those times that you need a shoulder to lean on. Trying to get a good read on him. It feels like he wasn't a softie when it came to empathizing. But it feels like he had a way of letting you know he cared without being mushy or he just reminds me of somebody that's just like straight out and down to earth and all the cards on the table kind of a person, not too emotional, if you get what I'm saying.
Right.
Um,
But I knew.
I'm getting an iffy on what you had asked about the decision you made. He's kind of saying he loves you no matter what. Um, but the decision has made him sad. If you can understand that, it's sad. But it doesn't change how he thinks or feels about you, and he's still around you. He said, and this is very strange in this context, he says that he knew that he couldn't take things with him, and he wasn't expecting anyone to make a big deal about the things that he had left. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So right now he's asking you to say his first name. Would you do that for him?
Howard.
Then he says, I am remembered. And he's saying that that's what counts. When you talk about him, you remember him. But as far as the other things, no. I think that was a part of his life, and it was sad. But I don't think that he's too distraught about what's happened. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have another question for him while he's here? Because he says you may have another question for him.
I want to know if he forgives me.
He forgives you. Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes, absolutely. He 100% forgives you and loves you and will always love you. That's where he stands. And he's really firm on this. He's doing one of those very stern fatherly faces at me. Like he wants you to know nothing is going to shake that. Nothing is going to shake his love and adoration. And yeah, he's all yours. He's trying to say, what he was trying to say is that the way that he wants to be remembered, I think, is to be talked about, to be remembered and shared, the history and the memories, if that makes sense.
Yes. Well, that I do all the time for him.
Okay. So getting to your relationship, I feel like you've done a whole lot of healing. You have done the work, and it feels like it's been a roller coaster for you, emotionally and mentally and somewhat physically too.
That's to say the least.
Oh my goodness. It's an accomplishment, and I want you to be very proud of yourself for that. Spirit is saying that you have gone beyond in healing, and that's very, very good. That's very good for you. Hang on a second. So with this new gentleman, what Spirit is telling me is that he is your soulmate here, and that he came into you in this time so you could do the healing. And so you were clear. You are clear. You can be fragile with your new beau, can't you? Because they're telling me you can. He loves you for who you are and adores you just as much as your dad does. So I get that.
He's the only one I met took my dad's grave and introduced him to my dad at his grave. He's the only one I've ever done that to.
And your dad was there. Oh my goodness.
I just get scared, that he don't reciprocate that. That I did wrong. I'm always afraid I do wrong.
Your father loves you and he accepts you for everything you've done. He's forgiven you for not being perfect. He understands that you're human and he loves you. And I feel like this going forward, I think trust is going to be an issue, but it's going to be an issue because it's new. So I would suggest you do the fear to excitement. Anytime you feel afraid, be excited. Okay? Get excited. Let the fear go. Be excited, because this is the new relationship. This is the good relationship. This is what you've been waiting for. So anytime that you feel fear, get to excitement. Switch it to excitement, because it's wonderful. Okay?
Okay.
I am so glad that you called. Thank you so much for allowing me to share, and thank you. I hope you have a great night.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for Your Time to Shine with Julie Yeager-Walker. Live from Wings of Souls with Julie.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Your Time to Shine
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Your Time to Shine, a radio show designed to help you explore your own divine gifts. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. Thank you for being here on A1R Psychic Radio and being with me. I'm super happy to have you here this evening. And here we are in the wake, in the middle of summer. I can't believe it. We've been having great weather. And I've been spending a lot of time in my backyard, really enjoying the weather. So super happy about that. And we are going to go try to catch the Aurora Borealis tonight. I know I live in Oregon. You shouldn't be able to see that. But according to reports, we are supposed to be able to see it tonight. So we are going to take a little journey after the show and see if we can go find some beautiful majestic lights and have the universe put on a fantastic light show. Even if it's just a tiny little bit, I will be okay. It's my bucket list. And so even if I get a little taste, then that will encourage me to go to Alaska with my husband and see the lights up there. He's been up there, and the photographs he has taken with the Aurora Borealis are just absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. And so maybe tonight will be just a little piece of my bucket list, just a little taste. That would be fantastic. So we'll see what happens. So for tonight's little tip. So I have been talking with somebody in my group, and I'm going to keep this very vague so it doesn't give out any information without their permission. So I've been dealing with this person almost a daily basis, and they're new to me. I'm trying to understand them and kind of figure them out. And I've been in situations where we've been in meetings and I've been talking with them, and it feels like they are getting upset with me for something that wasn't my fault, but they are putting the blame on me, or it feels like that blame is being put on me, but it's very vague. It's very different. And they use words that make it broad term, but the energy of it reads differently. I don't know. Maybe you guys have been in a situation like that. So it's been very interesting for me, of course, as an empath. Even if it wasn't directed to me, I want to take that energy on and transmute it and then think, wow, why is this person getting upset with me? I don't understand. I haven't done anything wrong. I've been following all the protocols or whatever that is, and somehow I'm still getting the brunt end of this. So it's really been interesting because it's really put me into awareness to take a step back and go, what is this situation really about? And that's really what you need to do when you're feeling that energy and you're feeling that pressure and you're thinking, this is being directed towards me, but yet on some level, it's not being directed towards you. And you kind of know that. That's the moment that you need to take a step back, get out of the situation and say, okay, what is this trying to tell me? Right? So after this has happened a few times, I've taken a step back and said, okay, this is not about me. And it's true. I've realized that it wasn't about me. This person was almost venting or, letting me know that something wasn't right. And it felt like it was being directed towards me, but more it was being directed as like an overall unit, right? For an overall group of people. But I was taking that on as my own. So being able to step into that awareness and say, wait a minute, let's back it up, reevaluate, and then look into the energy of it. I realized it really wasn't about me. I was the conduit for which this person was allowing frustration to come through and to be released. And I can say, okay, I understand this better. And I'm able to basically digest what they're saying, understand what they're saying, and be able to walk away from it because I don't own it, right? I didn't take that on. I didn't put it on, over the top of my human self. I was able to walk away from it and say, that wasn't mine. It seemed like it was being directed to me, but it wasn't. So the whole reason behind my story is if we can all be in that awareness of when you are in a conversation with someone and you feel like it's being directed towards you, you don't know why, because you feel you haven't done anything. You need to take that step back and say, okay, what is going on around them? What is going on with them? And further conversations with them, even maybe just listening to what they have to say, will give you insight onto why this conversation is happening, why you feel like you are being the one blamed, or feeling the need to take on this situation when it's really not yours. Because as I listened to this person and going through the conversations, I was realizing and I was picking up that there were things involved that happened prior to me meeting with this person, right? It was really the trigger. And I was just the conduit to be able to release it. So not taking that on makes a huge difference in my daily work, in my daily life, being able to step back and be objective about it and say, nope, that's not mine. And, releasing that energy and pushing it away from me because it's not mine. So it really helped. It was a really interesting awareness for me and an important journey that I've been taking over these last, couple months, I would say. So I wanted to share that tip with you to hopefully help you all out there who might be going through some similar situations, that you may evaluate the situation from a higher level, from a distance or a perspective that's different than your own, right? Looking through it as a different lens and stepping away from the situation and asking, is this really directed to me or towards me? Or is this just somebody releasing and I'm just there to witness and be that conduit? Because it is a huge difference. And you don't take that on. You don't walk away feeling mad, frustrated, confused. You just go, oh, that's what that was. And you can walk away from it, right? So being awareness, the biggest thing with almost any of this is just being in awareness. And if you can be in that space and place, then I would say 75% of, of all of this, you can understand where it's coming from, why it's happening, and then you can take measures and steps to either go towards it or step back from it. All right. Hopefully that is helpful. It's been very helpful for me. But right now we have a caller ready to go. We have Cheryl in Alberta, Canada. Good evening, Cheryl, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Hi, Julie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm
Good. What can I do for you this evening?
I was just wondering maybe a bit about money matters.
I'm sorry, what was that last part, finding out about?
Is that better?
Oh, that's
Hello?
much better. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'll move it down a bit there.
So
I was just
what was your
wondering a bit
question
about
again?
money matters.
Oh, money matters. Oh, okay. Yes. All right. Cheryl, there's just going to be a little moment of silence while I tune in to see what you guys have. Okay, Cheryl. So what I was getting is you've got some real, what they are telling me is hot issues right now that you're dealing with, some things that are needing the priority of decision making. And they're saying that you need to kind of shift and prioritize and look into some of those things and make some decisions about them. Are there decisions out there that you've been kind of holding off on, or that you're evaluating? Because that's kind of what they're showing me right now.
Well, my car basically is close to giving up the ghost, and I had to pick up another one.
Okay.
And it's sort of like, okay, fine. I didn't really need that payment. And
Right.
it just, it just seems like you get the money in and away it goes.
Right.
Gone.
Right. Yes. Right. What they're showing me is that there are some like belief systems or something that maybe you grew up with, that's showing you about money and its worth. That money is not something that stays around for very long. And so it's interesting. It's more with trying to make friends with money. And I know that sounds very odd. But looking as money is not just a thing or a means to an end, but actually, having conversations with money. Gee, maybe you didn't need that, you didn't need that car, or you didn't need, um, that thing. But you needed that to be able to get back and forth to work, back and forth to the grocery store. And so you say, thank you, money, for showing up for me. Thank you, money, for allowing me to buy this new vehicle. And thank you for showing up when I needed you to show up. So starting in a mode of like gratitude and gratefulness. And actually your team is showing me that you do some sort of a practice like that, being in gratitude of what is coming in and what is coming in for you. And so they want you to know that you're practicing this on some sort of level, to be grateful and thankful for the money that is coming in.
I can do that because I'm very thankful for when I get paid or when a little bit of extra comes in. And
Right,
maybe
exactly.
I should say it out loud when at some time during the day.
Yeah. And just so when you're saying that, bring that emotion into it. So like when money comes in or that little bit extra, like, get excited and hold that energy and say thank you and feel that energy through your body, right? And say thank you for this, for coming in, for being here, for walking side by side with me. And imagine that energy pushing out from you, right, into the universe, that gratitude of thankfulness, right? And they're showing me that you do this already, right? And so they're saying keep that up, keep that cycle going, because as you do that, it compounds, and there's then the more gratitude and the more thankfulness, and that comes in, right? And of course, we all have our bad days, and so you're going to have days that it's not going to feel that great to try to be thankful, and that's okay. And you have to be able to give yourself a break on that. I'm looking to see what else they can tell me about money matters for you. So I keep hearing the words holding on, as like you're holding on for some kind of an outcome. So there's something out there that you're holding on to, that you're holding on hope for, to balance all this out. And
I think that's a big lotto win, like everybody's hoping for.
it might be. They're saying that it's something else.
Oh.
Are you in some type of a negotiation with somebody? It's not like a settlement, but I keep feeling like there's a negotiation. Is there a negotiation for a raise at your job?
Not right now, no.
Interesting. Okay. I feel like that there's a possibility for a raise in your job. It feels like there's an elevation, there's a shift, that there's something like that coming, because they keep bringing me around to holding on.
Okay.
They're not showing me a lot more. So
Do they say anything about my health?
there's So have you been, I'm actually sitting here, I'm scratching and itching. um,
Mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes must be it. Um,
Yeah.
there's something about like an itch or like a 7-year itch. Um, like you're going through, like you're going through, it's the end of a cycle is what they're saying. Like you're at the end of a cycle.
Okay.
You've been, they say that you've been kind of doctoring like a lot of little things. And that's coming to this year end cycle, that is coming into a conclusion, right? And it's going to give you that relief that you've been looking for.
Okay.
Okay.
Fabulous.
Yeah. It's like they're showing me it's like lots of like little things. Nothing big and major, but an end game or to figure out um, what the solution is.
Okay.
And so they're saying that is coming in, that's coming in for you.
Oh, good.
I just heard healthy as a horse. So there you go.
Well, that's good because I'll be honest, I've battled 3 different types of cancer and didn't do the chemo or anything, just did radiation once, and I'm clear so far.
Excellent. Yay.
And
Congratulations.
yeah. So, I mean, it's always in the back of your mind, but
passionate about creating this safe space for people.
Mm-hmm.
And they said it's really okay to create that safe space for yourself and to love yourself. And of course, as a human, that's really hard for us to do because we feel that's very selfish and that's not how we're supposed to be and operate. But really, it's about the self-love so that we can give more love, right?
Okay. I understand that
Okay.
part. Yeah.
Let me see what else they have here for you. Speaking of taking care of somebody, they're showing me somebody that you're taking care of.
I'd probably be my husband.
Okay. They're just showing me that that's been very challenging for you. And they want you to again, they're going back to that recognition of you're doing a fantastic job and giving yourself some credit, giving yourself a little pat on the back, giving yourself a little slack when something doesn't go as you had anticipated or expected. Okay. And realize that once in a while you're going to have a bad day and that's okay.
Yeah.
Right. You're always that cheerful, happy person. And it's okay if you have a bad day.
Okay.
To not be too hard on yourself for that. Your husband's very grateful for what you're doing for him. He doesn't always show it.
That's true.
But he is very grateful.
Oh, great.
Okay. When the ego kind of steps aside, that's when you can see it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Typical man.
Yes. Yes. They're saying, don't let that dim your light. Okay.
Okay.
Because you are very empathic and very caring. You carry a lot of that. So make sure that that you're not carrying something that's not yours. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, Cheryl, we're coming down to the last few seconds of our show. So I'm going to have to say goodnight, but I want to say thank you so much for calling in this evening.
Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it.
You are very welcome. Have a wonderful evening.
You too. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye for now.
All right, that does it for me. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in this evening. If you would like to have a personal reading with me, please reach out to me on my website at wingsofsoulswithjulie.com. Exciting news. My friend and I, Melinda, are going to be doing a retreat in Canada in October. More to come on that next week. I will give you all the details on that, and it'll be posting to my website very soon. Until then, you guys all have a wonderful evening, and I will see you again next week.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for astrology and psychic readings with Lady D. Lady D. Live from Lady D's PsychicParties.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is astrology and psychic reading
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi everybody, welcome to Astrology and Psychic Readings with Lady D. I'm your host, Lady D. I hope you've all had an amazing week. So we have a new moon that's coming up, and it's going to be in Cancer. So it will be on Tuesday the 18th of July at 4:31 a.m. That is my time in Sydney. So for those around the world, it will be probably more on Monday. So I always say I'm in the future. Now, with this new moon, it is going to be an opposition to Pluto as well. So this could be an ending coming up here. When we're dealing with Cancer, we are dealing with the home, we are dealing with family, we are dealing with also an aspect of healing too, because Cancerians are natural healers. And so this could be a good time, or you're thinking about making a move or making some sort of transformation around the home and even with your family. You could be looking at settling the score or settling something to do with the home. It could be that it might be more grumpy. Cancerians can be a little bit, they're homebodies, they're homemakers, but they can also be a little bit grumpy sometimes. I feel like. This also can ask, I do feel like there could be an aspect of feeling a little bit trapped here, like we want to escape. As I said, we want to do a move, or finding a way out, or where you want to feel, where you feel more at home too. It's coming up here. Could be also an energy of letting go from things from the past. I feel like also not the time to dwell on the past. So try not to dwell on things that have sort of upset you. It's not a good time to do that. I feel like it's more time about making adjustments and making stuff for the future. But also making adjustments to your home renovations. And it's here. Feel like that could be that this energy may make you feel like you just want to move out, like you want to find somewhere else. And you might also find a new door opening up for you during this new moon as well. And I feel like there could be an aspect of you wanting to heal others and having people drawn to you that might have a lot going on, and you have a need to heal them, or wanting to make them feel better as well. The other big thing that we do also have coming up here during the week, we have the nodes. So finally, after this new moon, the nodes are going to be moving signs. So they're going to go from Taurus, and so the north node in Taurus, the south node in Scorpio. We're then going to be going into the north node going into Aries, and the south node going into Libra. So the north node is where we're going towards. And when we're dealing with Aries, we are dealing with leadership. We could be also dealing with war, because Mars and Aries is the god of war. So around the world, there could be some more conflict coming up, and I think we can see things sort of going up there. We're heating up with that. But also as well, so like what do you want in your life? How do you want to succeed? And how do you want things to go ahead? It would be all about you, because when we're dealing with Aries, it's about it's about it being important. When you're dealing with someone who is of Aries, they are very important people. They are the leaders. So we are looking at leadership. People want leaders who I feel like can stand up, show leadership, show strength, because we are looking at strength as well. And when the nodes, it takes 18 years for them to come around the full cycle. So when you think about 18 years ago, on around that 18-month cycle, on how your life changed, or what were you looking at, what were your goals, back then. So we are dealing around 2000 and but 2004, I think it'd be later than that actually. So we can look back and see how that affected you last time to see what things may come up this time for you and even run the world. The South Node being in Libra, now that's sort of what we're sort of looking away towards. Libra is about finding a balance. So we've got this one thing that's this energy is very strong about what we want. Then we've got another energy that's sort of like, wanting to find balance, or maybe things might be out of balance because it's what we're going against. It's also about relationships. It's also about pleasing other people. So I dare say it's going to be more. We're going to find a lot of strong energy coming up around the world around these 18 months with these nodes. But it's exciting times where things are meant to change and things are we're meant to grow. These are all going to be lessons that come in too. But I just feel for this week, it is going to be, it's going to be a lot of building up, but we can definitely go through it and it's going to be exciting for new energies to come in. So let's go to the phone call. So we do have Kathy here who's in California. So hi, Kathy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm good. How can I help you today?
Like, I need help with like a general reading, like about like how my mom would be, or just in general.
Like your mom's
my
living?
mom's
Your
gonna be
mom's
okay.
like your mom's
My
okay?
mom's
Like your
living,
mom's
yeah.
here? Yeah. Okay. 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 As you were talking, I did
She's
get. I'm not a doctor. Is there some health issues? Is there some health issues that's going on? 'Cause I was getting health, and I'm not a doctor, but I was feeling a little bit issues here. Let's have a look here. So you wonder about your mum. Look, I feel like your mum's okay, but I do feel like I don't know if there's someone, if it's you or if it's just with her, someone feels like out of breath because I am feeling like out of breath or with my breathing. And
No, her breathing's fine.
is okay. Okay. Is there anyone that has health issues at the moment? No.
Me. I have a lot of health issues, and I'm like very scared about it every single day.
Okay. And it's just like, is it like an anxiety that you have, like a panic attack, or you have like anxiety about it?
Yes, big time.
Okay. Okay. So I was saying, as I said, my breathing, and I thought, well, that could also mean panic attack because I know sometimes when I get one, I get my breathing gets funny. Okay. Okay. All I'm hearing is don't panic. I say I'm not a doctor, but I can just tell you what I sense. I do feel like there's someone that you are seeing, like a new specialist that's going to come out. But I just feel like that you're trying to also. I feel like you're looking at every which way to try. I feel like you're like trying to eat better and feel better too. I do see like there's a lot of like there is medication here, but I'm seeing like drug drops. So I don't know if there's anything you're going to get like sort of drop form. As I said, I'm not a doctor, so I can only see what I'm going to get. Over the next, I'm going to say over the next year and a half, you've got to be patient to be good and to be better too. And you're waiting. But I just feel like over the something about I'm just getting over the next year and a half. And I do feel like, I always feel like, yep, that it's as an aspect of being okay, but I feel like there's trust, like I'm not sure to trust. What are the health issues that you have?
I have like anxiety, like and no doctors can help me.
Hmm. I
I
see a
don't know what to
specialist, but I keep
do.
on seeing drops. So I don't know if the drops feeling like
You're
there's some sort
breaking
of
up.
reaction. So I could see you eating like a lot of like natural. Oh, sorry. I could see you getting a lot of like fresh food and vegetables. Like I feel like some sort of maybe allergic reaction that's coming up, but I'm also getting kidneys as well. Um, I do feel like that there's another doctor or some sort of specialist that you're going to see, but I keep on seeing these like a dropper or drops. So I do feel like that you might get something to help you in, but it's like a drop form, and it even could be something um, that's very different. But it's like I feel like your anxiety or your stress that you're having is maybe making it sort of flare up. And I know it's very hard for you. It's very hard when it can be a very stressful time. But I just feel like over I'm going to say next year and a half of seeing different doctors and different people, but you're going to find a way around it. And I feel like that you're going to find things that sort of like I thought doesn't. So I do feel like at the end of the year and a half, you've sort of found um, you've broken through things, and you have found some things that have helped you with this too. Does that make sense? Hello? Okay. Um, with your mum, I do feel like that she sort of gets worried about you and that she's stressed too, but it's more about you. I do feel like she'll be okay. But I do feel like you've got to just hang in there. And I feel like I keep on hearing you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Like you've got people that around you that's got your back. But I feel like it's like trial and error with stuff that's around you. I feel like also could be something about the air, maybe about the air that's around you as well, too. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so I wish you all the best, and I hope that you do feel better. But as I said, I do feel like you'll find something, but it'll be in a dropper form. I'm not too sure if it's like a herbal thing or what medication it is, but I just keep on seeing a dropper, like some sort of liquid in a drop, in a bottle that could be, yeah. But if that's what I see. Okay, thank you for calling in today.
Thank you so much.
That's okay. Okay, so thank you everyone. These are quick shows, which is good. So I hope you all have an amazing week. As I said, we've got new energies coming in this week, so you're going to feel things a bit differently and around the world. And if you want to contact me, you can. My website is Lady D Psychic Parties. Same as my Facebook page at Lady D Psychic Parties. My Instagram and TikTok is Lady D as Psychic, and my YouTube channel is Lady D or Danielle Psychic if you can't find it on there. I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you same place, same time next week. So bye for now.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sacred Insights. How are you doing? I'm Andrea Bacon, and I really appreciate you joining me today. I hope you're all doing really well wherever you are in the world when you are listening. So it's really hard to believe that we're almost in June already. Like the time is flying by so fast. Things are changing, lots of changes happening in the air. Even after all of the more complicated things that we've had at a rapid speed, things are really changing. So, I hope everyone had a great weekend and got to